everyone, it's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are watching God, Sex, and Love. Now, speaking of friends, we're going to have a little bit of a risque topic once again. I'm going to get with a couple of girlfriends, and we're going to have a girl chat. But, okay, so it's about a song and a video that just came out recently, all right? You may be familiar with the phrase WAP. Now, if you're not, then you might want to go Google it. If you are, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to have a conversation about not only the song, but this idea of women empowerment and how much has changed or has it changed, things like that. So if you are ready to have a conversation with us, then stay tuned. Welcome back to God, Sex, and Love. I have two lovely ladies joining me right now for a conversation about this controversial topic. Ladies, I don't know why I keep bringing all the controversy to the ladies. But anywho, first let me welcome for the first time Miss Melvaree Witherspoon. Hi, Miss Mel. How are you?
Hello. How are you ladies doing?
Good. I'm excited to have this conversation. And last but not least, let me reintroduce once again. She's back, y'all. Miss Chunda English.
Hello, it's good to be back.
Yes, it's good to see you too, sis. Thank you so much for your ongoing contributions to God Save Love. So, ladies, I know we're all familiar with this song and video that just came out. The W.A.P or the W.A.P or whatever they want to call it. Clearly, we're not going to explain what it means on this platform. But, well, I guess, okay, so for the record, have we all listened to or read the lyrics, or are you familiar with the song at all?
So I remember you were telling me, and I was like, well, let me read the lyrics first. Let me read these lyrics. So as I'm laying in the bed today, I started reading the lyrics, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. Stop, pump my brakes. I said, Mel, you have got to go see the video. Because I'm like, I got to see the video and see what exactly we talking about. I'm reading it, but I'm like, this can't be true. Baby, when I hit the play on the video, I nearly fell out the bed. I sat up and I was like, oh, let me call Miracle right now. Because you have got to see the video in order to you read it, I read it, but then when I saw the video, it was just like, okay, pick your head up, close your mouth, because I'm literally was like in awe with the lyrics. So that was my first impression, was today laying in the bed.
I have not brought myself to hear all of the song, nor have I brought myself to watch all of the video. What I've seen is enough. I was like, Miss Mel, like, baby, what in the world is going on here? Like, what is this? Like, I know we had Juvenile for the 99 and the 2000, but I just don't even think we was that scandalous with that thing up. I don't even think we was that bad. So this right here is something totally different.
Ladies, I'm right there with you guys. Like, honestly, I didn't watch the video until today. My husband was like, you're going to be talking about it. You might as well watch it, X, Y, and Z. And I get that. So I was like, fine, I'll watch it. I had a good understanding already of what it was going to be. But, because I read the lyrics as well. But I went ahead and watched it. And, yeah, I mean, it's just there. You know what I mean? It's all the way out there. I think my thing is, I mean, you know, like you said, we grew up on some things. So I mean, I'm familiar with Kaya and look, I'm trying to figure out, is there a difference between them back in the day and now, or is it along the same lines? Like,
well, I mean, if you're gonna talk about Kaya, that might be on the same lines, my neck and my back. That's about the same lines. But I think that now, because it's so out there and it's not played after hours, this is on like daytime radio. I think that's the difference. You know, when they would play like the really hard rap, it would be, you know, after dark, like maybe 9-10 o'clock, when kids not supposed to really be listening to the radio. You're supposed to be in the bed, sleep somewhere. But this right here, it's all over Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. It's everywhere. And kids now have so much access that we did not have. You know, dial-up internet was not going to let us look at this video. So this is totally different.
There you go. I think that what you just said is probably what is the difference maker in the entire thing, because like, there's so many things to talk about in this. I mean, it's not necessarily that I wanted to focus so much on the song itself. I think the thing that kind of bothered me is that, like, I saw this interview afterwards, and I guess it was some of the females that was, I only saw a clip of the interview, so I didn't go watch the whole thing. But it seemed as if there was some women that was involved in the video and everything like that, and they were giving their opinions about, you know, how they felt like it was empowering and all these things. And it just kind of also reminded me of a few years ago with Amber Rose, when she hosted the whole slut walk situation. You guys, ladies, are familiar with that?
Yes.
So I just was like, what is this new idea of empowerment? Because I don't know, things that was empowering for me back in the day was like Lauryn Hill and doggone, you know, what India.Arie said was empowering, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, this is just, it's to me, I don't see it necessarily as empower. Like, now, granted, for the record, we are on God, Sex, and Love, right? So I do feel like having conversations and healthy dialogue about sex as Christian women and everything like that. I mean, I feel like that's a good thing to do. However, though, it's like, this is a little bit extra. I don't know. What y'all think?
It ain't a little extra. It's a whole lot of extra. This is how they say it, period. It's a whole lot of extra. And you know, I was reading stuff like, if it's a topic, I like to start reading and it's just like, okay, so let me be the, I'm not gonna say the devil's advocate, but let me just try to see how I'm gonna break this down. So you have like an artist, and their words empower just a certain group of people, right?
Okay.
Just a certain group of people, and it's a business. And if they don't generate that business, that revenue for that certain group of people, then they're not going to make money. So I always got to say, you know what? That's her business. That's their business. That's what they do. And if you're so small-minded to follow that right there, we got a problem as women and how we raise our kids.
I'm gonna piggyback off.
I have two girls, and I know when raising them, when they be listening to music, I be like, "What you listening to?" No, my house. Cut it off anyway. And then I turn around and I go listen to it because I need to stay up on what they listening to. Like, so when they start talking a certain language, I'm like, "Oh, I know what you're saying, but you're finna stop that right now." So it's just, I look at it like, okay, well, she's been there, she's done that, but she's not doing that now. So she's got these lyrics going on, and small-minded people are following her, but she's not doing that anymore. She's married with kid, with house, making her money. She's not doing that no more. So why are y'all sitting here following her? Because you're not going to get there. And it's
you took the words right out my mouth. I was about to say, people over here following her And baby, she got the whole Huxtable dream going on. House, husband, baby, after marriage. Please keep in mind with Miss Cardi, she got married first, then she got pregnant. So, and she even said herself that she admires her mother, who's been married to her father for over 2 decades and who taught them to get married before you have kids. So she might be representing all this stuff in the lyrics, and she might have had that ratchet lifestyle. That's why I wore my shirt today that says ratchetdemic. You know, I feel like she's an academic who's ratchet, like myself. It's okay to be a little ratchet sometimes, but you can be smart. She's highly intelligent, and as Ms. Mel pointed out, she is marketing to a particular group of women. Now, the danger with that, though, is that unfortunately, most of those women are black. I'm going to say it. And secondly, most of those women really believe that what she's saying is empowering because they are living in those circumstances. Many of them are strippers, not as educated as Cardi. Feel like, oh, if I keep on being on this pole for long enough, I can have the lifestyle Cardi has. No, boo. Not if you keep dropping 10 and 11 kids and have 12 baby daddies. No, ma'am. That's not how that works. So it's unfortunate that artists like herself and other male artists too will broadcast and glorify this hood ratchet lifestyle, but they send their kids to private school while your little baby being locked up for selling drugs that they done preached about.
Y'all, I mean, what more is there to say? Like that is it right there. And honestly, like as I watched the video, you know, okay, everybody knows Cardi's story to a certain extent, right? You know, and honestly, it seemed as if she had like the Cinderella lifestyle in regards to I was this and now I've blossomed into this, right? But even as I watched the video, I just felt sad because I just was like, even if you got out of this lifestyle that you was in, it's like you're still in it with the music that you put out, you're still in it with the way you're dancing, you're still in it with all the things that you're doing. And again, I mean, it could just be the entertainment aspect and just promoting it because, you know, that's her niche or whatever. But I mean, I feel like it would be more, her story could be more powerful if it was like, okay, and I've changed my life, see how much I've changed, versus, hey, I'm doing the same stuff, I'm just making more money.
It's a business. It is literally, you know what, an artist knows it's important to not just lead, but they're encouraging that certain group of people. So it's almost like when you go to church, you have a pastor, and he is led to teach, to encourage you, to make sure you're doing the right thing. Well, in business, her business, she's encouraging them to do that. I'm not going to even say, you know, it's just the encouragement on her side. And then we have the church where they encourage us to lead the path that, you know, God has put in forward in front of us. That's the path we need to take. Now, you have to also have to decide, like, you know, the path that, you know, we're going this way here, and what she's saying, that path is going to lead to what? You're not going to get fulfillment out of it. You ain't gonna get no house, you ain't gonna get no car, you ain't gonna get no husband, because you ain't following the right path. You just following that path. And when you follow God's plan and his path, then what do you get? You get a fulfillment out of that. You get something at the end of that because you're following it and you're doing what you're supposed to do. It's simple, and that's just the bottom line.
And I think going back to the whole idea of liberation, which was what the point of this whole thing was, so to speak. I'm not saying that we back in the dark ages, that women shouldn't express what it is that they want sexually or whatever. But there's a time and place for everything. And I think that for me, what took me so aback was the fact that it was just so vulgar. Like, it was nothing. It was just like, it's right out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was no finesse to it. It was no, you know, beat around the bush with it. And I'm all for getting straight to the point. But that right there, please warm me up first. Don't just throw hot soup on me. Let me get a little warm up. This was too much for me. And I'm very much so to the point and direct when I talk about sex. But even I was over here blushing like, oh, girl, I don't know about all this. No. It's a bit much. So I think we can be liberated and classy. You can tell your husband, spouse, because that's what you're supposed to be doing it with, is your husband and your spouse. But your significant other, what you want sexually without being vulgar. I just think it's a fine line. But I will say on her behalf, and she stated this before, but I think as a celebrity, you really can't not be. She said multiple times, I'm not a role model. If your daughter's following me, then you're the problem. And I actually agree with that statement. If you are allowing your daughters of any age to think that this is okay and that this is an okay role model, and you're running around here using her as your role model, there is a problem. There's a huge problem.
Y'all, it's like we get on this subject every time, how important it is as parents to lead and guide your children. I mean, I don't know why this keeps being the thing on God, Sex, and Love, but obviously, yeah, parents, we need to be, I just know, listen, shoot, I don't even know if I would have been allowed to even listen to none of that growing up in our house, so it is a little bit out there. And so I guess my other question too is, because you guys know I'm an actor, I'm a performer and things like that as well, and so I do understand the artist aspect and the art of it, but I guess I'm also wondering, like, is it art? I mean, obviously it's their art, I don't know. Okay. Now, you guys know, I mean, you come from the perspective of, again, I'm an actor and everything like that. And I recently did a film that I portrayed a stripper in the film. Now, for me, there was a lot of reasons that I took the role. But one of the main reasons is because the story, it showed the other side of the coin in regards to, it didn't like glorify it. It didn't put it in a way where like, this is great, everybody, let's do it. It gave like the real nitty gritty of what happened to this girl when she got into this lifestyle, and I felt like that was something that needs to be said at this time, and so that's why I decided to go ahead and do it. However, even so, it's like, I don't know, it's like you said, okay, when you're having conversations with your husband, that's one thing, but when you going out and now you've made a song and broadcast it, it's like, I feel like there's a difference.
You don't, I guess, don't beat yourself up, because when you look at it, it's a business. You're an artist, and that's your business. That's not your life. That's not what you're about. That's your business. I'm an actress, because if we had to base everything on the actors and the actresses, the roles that they play, then my God, we gonna hate a whole lot of people. We gonna not a whole lot of people. So you just gotta look at it like, I'm an artist, that's my business. But my real life, that's not me. And everybody knows that. Oh, she's an artist, that's her business,
Right. So, I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out, is it the same in this aspect when it comes to this, I guess, with song, and like, is that just how we should look at it? Like, okay, this is just art. Like, this is what they're putting out. But I feel like it's a whole lifestyle, though.
I think the difference with music, and I often just like reflect back with the Bible and the power of music. Lucifer was the angel of music. So I think music holds a significant power over people. Like, think about it. If I'm sad and I listen to a happy song, my spirits get lightened. If I'm having a rough day and I told you I'm a ratchet demic. When I work out, I listen to ratchet rap because it get me hype. I'm like, yeah, let's work out, So music, I feel, has such a significant spiritual tie that it's almost very difficult to separate a musician from the art. And I think because people look at her in this sense of, as you put, her niche, so to speak. She's made other songs that are not this racy and this ratchet. But this song is generating a lot of significant attention because, as you two ladies have pointed out, it touches different people on different levels. There are some women who love this song because, as we started off this conversation with, it makes them feel like, yes, what I'm doing is okay because they said it was okay. They made this video and I feel like, oh, that's for me too. And I think that's the difference. Like, I think when I look at a movie, it can affect me, but not as much as music, because music is going in my ear. It's on repeat. You know, this gonna be one of those songs that's gonna probably be on repeat for a while, and people are going to start to like it. Because I know with music, sometimes I hear a song and I'm like, oh, I hate that song. Then after V103 done forced me to hear it 25 times, I'm like, okay, I like it. It's cool. You know, so music is different. I think music really holds a different type of stronghold versus a film or a movie, because we hear it and it's everywhere all the time. And unfortunately, I'm even going to say, I don't think she really even cared that much for this song. Because if you noticed her expression in the interview, she seemed to kind of like have her head down. Because I think as she matures, she's going to realize that she is influential and that what she does have a significant impact on what other young ladies will do. And she's the mother of a daughter now. So these are things that are going to come back in different ways if not careful.
Yep. Like I said, it's a business. And if you got somebody on the other end, like, yo, you got to do this. You got to write this. You got to sing this song. You got to sing this song. And I'm pretty sure she probably looked at it and was like, okay, let me go ahead and do it. And they probably even realized that it was going to blow up like it did. But there's a certain group of people that like that. I like the beat now. I'm going to tell you that beat, I like. The words, they can just take them away. But the beat, I like the beat. And I'm a beat person. So I like, it could be, like you said, it could be a ratchet song. But if I hear that beat, okay, I got the beat, because I ain't trying to remember the words. I ain't trying to repeat the words. I'm just doing the beats because I'm working out. Like, okay, I'm not going to repeat it. But it's just, yeah. So.
And so again, I watched the video and everything like that, and I feel like, okay, because I was trying to have a conversation with my husband afterwards, like, okay, so what did you think of the video? He didn't find it appealing.
Yeah, I would like to know how the men feel about that video.
They probably liked it and they don't want to admit it.
I was like, keep it real. Do you like, did it turn your on? Like, keep it real, all the way real. He was like, for him, it didn't, for him, it was too vulgar. That's what he was saying to me. Oh,
he's such a good guy. My husband would have been up there slobbing and, oh yeah, you should try them dance moves. See, you got a good one. Mine don't care. So I'm gonna have to watch this video with him. Like, he probably done seen it 5 times and ain't told me.
Oh.
Do you think, like, when a man hears that, like, is that going to be somebody? Oh, that's going to be somebody I'm gonna marry right there. I'm gonna marry this type of girl right here.
I don't think so.
My husband said no, but I mean, he's one man. Obviously, she's married. So, well, Cardi B is. I don't know what Miss Meg Thee Stallion is doing regarding her dating life, but what I was going to say in regards to the video is, like, so it was very colorful. It was very, like, it had really, I guess it was shot really well, in regards to things like that. But then I also heard this aspect that people were concerned about it because it seemed to be kid friendly in a way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with the bright colors and, like, catchy to the, that it could be catchy to children's eyes and things like that. Like, what do you all feel about that?
Well, I mean, that's her target audience. Is young, I won't say adolescent, but young maturing women. Like, I'm thinking high school, college age. Those are going to be the ones that are caught up into this facade. And I call it a facade because it's fake. This facade of what is glamorous, this facade of what is this ideal of womanhood. Because think about, like, the body shapes that are portrayed. Those ain't real proportions. Like, again, Cardi even admitted herself she's had surgery to reach that level of shapeliness, and she had to get lipo and, nip tucked after having a baby. Because when your age hits a certain range, things start to drop. And I ain't saying drop it like it's hot neither. They start laying it down like it's cold and look warm. So you got to get snatched and nip tucked to look like that. But young girls who are 18, 21, ain't never had no kids, they out there vibing and living this ratchet lifestyle in the clubs. And I was one of them. So that's why I said ratchet sometimes is necessary. they're gonna be feeling this. But I hope that they don't embody that. Like, don't let the song become who you are. Like, don't let this be your anthem and your theme song. Because, as Ms. Mel pointed out, a grown, responsible Barack Obama type of man is not going to want to marry you. Like, if that's the type of man that you want to attract, then you have to put out what it is that you're trying to attract. And I think that that only works for certain types of relationships. Like, if that's the vibe you're putting out, then you probably going to wind up in a friends with benefits type of relationship. But you need to be putting out that Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama vibe to be a wife. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. That's good. What you got to say, Miss Mel? You look like you just like ready to say something.
I'm just so full of words. I just don't know where to begin and where to end. Cause baby, I'm just like, it makes me think and it makes me sit and wonder, like, how are you raised? How are some of these girls raised? Do they grow up with their parents listening to the same type of music and it's something that they carry? It's like it carried on to the next. So if my mama listened to this, then I'm in the car and I hear it, then it becomes, the same thing. It's like a never ending cycle. It just goes and goes. If I'm listening, because I know my grandma raised me and it was church. Because you get up on Sunday, you better be ready, because if you don't be ready, you won't get your behind cut. So, I grew up like that. I mean, it was church. It wasn't any, in Marvin Gaye and Aretha Franklin and, listening to that type of music. It wasn't anything bad. So this new era, this new time, as a parent, we have a lot of young parents. Mm-hmm. A lot of young parents. I mean, man, they're listening. Because your love has set me free. I'm alive.
There's no time to get my nails done. Oh, I know. I went to unwindselfcare.com and got my 100% nail polish strips. Thanks, Unwind Self-Care.
I want to give a shout out to Miss Chunda and Miss Mel for joining me for the conversation today. Also, shout out to Righteous Boutique for providing me with this awesome outfit. You all let me know how you feel about it on social media, okay? And last but not least, shout out to you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next Friday.
Like I said, it's a business. And if you got somebody on the other end, like, yo, you got to do this. You got to write this. You got to sing this song. You got to sing this song. And I'm pretty sure she probably looked at it and was like, okay, let me go ahead and do it. And they probably even realized that it was going to blow up like it did. But there's a certain group of people that like that. I like the beat now. I'm going to tell you that beat, I like the words. They can just take them away. But the beat, I like the beat. And I'm a beat person. So I like, it could be, like you said, it could be a ratchet song. But if I hear that beat, okay, I got the beat, because I ain't trying to remember the words. I ain't trying to repeat the words. I'm just doing the beats because I'm working out. Like, okay, I'm not going to repeat it, but it's just, yeah. So.
And so again, I watched the video and everything like that, and I feel like, okay, because I was trying to have a conversation with my husband afterwards, like, okay, so what did you think of the video? He didn't find it appealing.
Yeah, I would like to know, how do men feel about that video?
They probably liked it and they don't want to admit it.
I was like, keep it real. Do you like, did it turn you on? Like keep it real, all the way real. He was like, for him, it didn't. For him, it was too vulgar. That's what he was saying to me.
Oh, he's such a good guy. My husband would have been up there slobbing and, oh yeah, you should try them dance moves. See, you got a good one. Mine don't care. So I'm gonna have to watch this video with him later. He probably done seen it 5 times and ain't told me.
Oh,
Do you think like when a man hears that, like, is that going to be somebody? Oh, that's going to be somebody I'm gonna marry right there. I'm gonna marry this type of girl right here.
I don't think so.
My husband said so, but I mean, he's one man. Obviously, she's married. So, well, Cardi B is. I don't know what Miss Meg Thee Stallion is doing regarding her dating life, but what I was going to say in regards to the video is like, so it was very colorful. It was very, like, it had really, I guess it was shot really well, in regards to things like that. But then I also heard this aspect that people were concerned about it because it seemed to be kid friendly in a way. Like, you know what I mean? Like with the bright colors and like catchy to the, that it could be catchy to children's eyes and things like that. Like, what do you all feel about that?
Well, I mean, that's her target audience is young, I won't say adolescent, but young maturing women. Like, I'm thinking high school, college age. Those are going to be the ones that are caught up into this facade. And I call it a facade because it's fake. This facade of what is glamorous, this facade of what is this ideal of womanhood. Because think about like the body shapes that are portrayed. Those ain't real proportions. Like, again, Cardi even admitted herself she's had surgery to reach that level of shapeliness, and she had to get lipo and, nip tucked after having a baby. Because when your age hits a certain range, things start to drop. And I ain't saying drop it like it's hot neither. They start laying it down like it's cold and look warm. So you got to get snatched and nip tucked to look like that. But young girls who are 18, 21, ain't never had no kids, they got there vibing and living this ratchet lifestyle in the clubs. And I was one of them. So that's why I said ratchet sometimes is necessary. They're going to be feeling this. But I hope that they don't embody that. Like, don't let the song become who you are. Like, don't let this be your anthem and your theme song. Because as Ms. Mel pointed out, a grown, responsible Barack Obama type of man is not going to want to marry you. Like, if that's the type of man that you want to attract, then you have to put out what it is that you're trying to attract. And I think that only works for certain types of relationships. Like, if that's the vibe you're putting out, then you're probably going to wind up in a friends with benefits type of relationship. But you need to be putting out that Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama vibe to be a wife. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. That's good. What you got to say, Miss Mel? You look like you just about ready to say something.
I'm just so full of words. I just don't know where to begin and where to end. Cause baby, I'm just like, it makes me think and it makes me sit and wonder, like, how are you raised? How are some of these girls raised? Do they grow up with their parents listening to the same type of music and it's something that they carry? It's like it carried on to the next. So if my mama listened to this, then I'm in the car and I hear it, then it becomes, the same thing. It's like a never ending cycle. It just goes and goes. If I'm listening, because I know my grandma raised me and it was church. Because you get up on Sunday, you better be ready, because if you don't be ready, you won't get your behind cut. So, I grew up like that. I mean, it was church. It wasn't any, in Marvin Gaye and Aretha Franklin and, listening to that type of music. It wasn't anything bad. So this new era, this new time, as a parent, we have a lot of young parents. A lot of young parents. I mean, and they're listening to this music. So that means the kids are hearing it. Even I know, like, when I used to go to my girlfriend's house and it would be a cookout and party and kids would be around, it's like kids out, because that's how we all vibe with each other. When we're having a cookout and we got adults over, the kids, y'all go to the back and don't come out. Stay to the back. Well, that's not happening these days. When everybody's partying, you got kids running around and they're partying too. And so it's a habit of their environment, and it continues to go on. And then by the time the mother, realize that, oh my God, did I bring my child into this? Now their child is doing it. Now they're doing it. And it's just, at some point, it has to stop and break so that we can be respected women and not be called all the B's and the H's. It's at some point it has to stop, because don't call me that, because that's not my name. Hey, that's not my name.
And you brought up something so significant, like the fact that your grandmother would take you to church. And I know for me and Miracle, our parents took us to church. But this generation now is a very unchurched generation. I'm a teacher by profession. And it always amazes me how many of my students say that they don't go to church except for with grandmama on Easter, or if somebody dies or something like that. But as far as like worship music in the house and really reading that Bible and praying with your kids, no, that doesn't really happen. And I mean, I know I'm old school because I do like Miss Mel said, if we having a cookout and all the kids gone by now, y'all need to go on in the house. The grown folks to the party now. This is not a kid-friendly thing, But I have seen at other people's barbecues, if we go, they're like, oh, the kids can keep on staying. No, this is the grown people portion. They need to go somewhere with the children up the stairs and play or something. No, they should not be around listening to adult conversations and interjecting like they part of the conversation. We would have got our teeth slapped down our throat. So, it's a different generation. And just, there are no real big mamas no more. Grandmamas don't exist. They 35. So they don't know how to do, parenting and grandparent skills in a lot of cases. They best friends with their granddaughter, going to the club with them. So yeah, as you pointed out, it just keeps on going like this until somebody decides to raise up a standard.
Yeah.
This W.A.P is not the standard.
Well, ladies, if you guys can give any type of idea of empowerment, or give your point of view of what women empowerment is, if you guys could kind of do that as a wrap up, that would be great, I think. You guys know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Anybody has any ideas, or
I'll go.
Okay.
To me, a woman being empowered is a woman who is smart, confident, knows who she is, most importantly, knows who God is. She can stand on her own 2 feet. She doesn't need a man, but she knows that if she has a good husband, how to be a wife, how to be a mother. I think a woman who gives back to her community is powerful, who sets an example for other young women. That's one that is positive and not catty, not gossiping. Those things to me are powerful. So when I think of like the idea of womanhood, I think about my mom. I think about my grandmother. I think about the Michelle Obamas, the Kamala Harrises. I think about these women who are strong, powerful Black women. They don't expose themselves to everybody. They have some sense of direction and foundation outside of themselves. So it's not selfish. I think that being a woman is being generous and loving, and it's everything that we're not seeing on cameras anymore. So to me, I think in order to be an empowered woman, you have to know who God is and then figure out who you are.
I like I said, I read things, and I read this article, and it was published by Shannon Green, and then she talks about, the changes that the church can make to empower women. And one of the things that really stuck out was that as a woman, we need to recognize the power of the word. Luke 6, verse 45, Jesus taught the mouth to speak. Jesus taught that the mouth speaks from the overflow of the heart. So when you got these, women out here, well, I wouldn't say women because a woman ain't gonna do all that. These young girls are these artists that are, speaks from their mouth, the things that come out of their mouth. And they just need to understand that what they're saying, that somebody really takes that to heart, and they shouldn't. As a woman, I try to tell my children, like, you don't believe everything you hear. You just can't. You can't believe everything you hear. As a woman, I feel that God created us for much more than that. We are valuable, we're powerful, and most importantly, we have to follow his plan in order to get things right, to get good. We just can't go out here freestyling and doing what to do and not following his plan. It's just things like that just bother me as a woman, and I'm a single woman, so I know that the temptation, the foolishness, the craziness that's out there, I don't follow it because he has a plan, and I'm trying to stay a course to that plan. And it bothers me that, we've gotten away from following his plan, and some women, young, even old ones, are just out doing whatever they want to do.
Man, that can wrap it up right there. I guess the only thing I would just add, ladies, is just, again, just really, really keep in mind the things that you all are taking into your minds and what you're watching, what you're hearing, because they can have an effect on you, like Ms. Chunda was saying earlier. Also, I would just say, keep in mind that, women are powerful, that's the new WAP, y'all. That's good. But yeah, we have power over our own minds, and we don't have to go with what the media is pushing out to us. At the end of the day, there are plenty of empowering movements, plenty of empowering songs, plenty of empowering things that you could do or get into outside of just parading your body in a way where it's like as if that's all you have to offer, because there's so much more you can offer the world besides that. So I hope that this episode encourages you all. I just want to shout out and thank both of these ladies, Miss Chunda and Miss Mel, for joining me for this conversation. All right.
Leave you with a quote. I'm gonna leave you with this quote I found. Let me just read this. It says, "Behind every successful woman is a tribe of other successful women who have her back." Point blank.
Yes.
And we have to remember that, and we need to pass it on to the next one and let them know that.
Exactly. There we go. And look, this is proof right here on God, Sex, and Love, y'all. Well, thank you so much again, ladies. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you in part by Inspirational Therapy Session Incorporated, inspiring teens since 2002.